वेलकम टू डिक्टेशन वर्ल्ड स्टेनो।
आज का सवाल आपकी स्क्रीन पर
3, 2, 1.
when institutions other than the executive try their hand at policy making, the consequences can be disastrous. Stop. The union government is charged with the responsibility of framing policy and implementing it. Stop. The government is accountable to the people through parliament. Stop. The people's representatives in parliament can take the government to task for both faulty policy making and faulty implementation. Stop. This is reflected in proceedings in Parliament through question hour and debates under various procedures of the two House of Parliament. Stop. Government decisions are also subject to judicial review if they fall of constitutional provisions. Stop. The executive is, therefore, institutionally accountable. Stop. Of late, we have seen constitutional authorities indulging in policy making. Stop. The CAG is a shining example of this aberration. Stop. The function of the CAG under Article 149 of the Constitution is to audit the accounts of the Union of India and of the states under a law made by Parliament. Stop. The CAG is entitled to ensure that allocations made are duly applied and charged, and that all expenditure conforms to the authority which govern it. Stop. The auditor is not a policymaker. Stop. Rightly so. Whether or not a particular natural resource is to be auctioned is not for the CAG to decide. Stop. This not an accounting function. Stop. The allocation of a natural resource is not a budgetary allocation, nor does it have any semblance to the application of a budgetary allocation. Stop. The government may decide that a natural resource, in given circumstances, be distributed in a manner that serves a particular social and economic objective. Stop. If Akash were to be given free to 11 million children in higher secondary schools in the country with the objective of empowering them, it is not for the CAG to comment on such a policy. Stop. Of course, the government would forego revenue. Stop. If Akash were to be priced or put to auction, it will fetch revenue for the government. Stop. But that may not be the government's objective. Stop. Nor it is with the domain of the auditor to tell us in what manner government should deal with Akash. Stop. The CAG, in the context of his personal understanding of his authority, could raise an audit objection by stating that government should have charged the cost price of Akash from all parents who can afford to pay, and that not doing so has resulted in revenue loss. Stop. Supposing, the CAG were to do that, what can the government do? Question mark. It cannot raise the issue in parliament because the report of the CAG is to go to the public accounts committee, for consideration. Stop. The PAC examines audit reports and prepares draft reports, which are finally adopted by the PAC and presented to the Lok Sabha. Stop. The reports, inter alia, contain a summary of the PAC's conclusion and recommendation. Stop. Although it open to the Lok Sabha to discuss reports of the PAC, such discussions are seldom held through members often use them in the speeches in parliament on the budget demands for grants, etc. Stop. If specific issue is brought before the House and discussed on a motion, it is not put to vote. Stop. Answers.